There's a serious problem with the trading education industry, and I'm here to address that with you in this video. I'm gonna give you guys my take on this, which is something I believe most people out there on the internet wouldn't take the time to even do this. So if you guys appreciate my take, let me know with the comments down below. If you disagree with what I'm saying, also let me know down below. I personally think the trading education space is severely broken, mainly because the majority of people out there selling educational material do not show the necessary receipts to prove that they are what they say they are. They've got plenty of testimonials on their website saying the course is great and this person is great. There's no actual proof showing that they made the money they say they made trading, which gives them the credibility they need to be selling educational material for trading. And it's not that complicated. There is one trader in the industry, a very big, well-known trader that sells education, that on his website, he puts audited broker statements since 2017 all the way until 2025, audited by a financial accountant. I'm going to show you who that is in a moment. But before that, let me give you an analogy regarding this. If you go into any other industry, I'm going to give the example with a musician. I arrange music for the guitar. If I arrange a piece of music that's never been arranged before, I take it from the piano or from another instrument or from the orchestra, and I take an orchestral piece and I put it on the guitar, my arrangement is the only arrangement that exists in the world. It's getting recorded by other classical guitarists on their records. It's being performed in concert halls. That right there is the proof that my arrangement is good enough that these big players are deciding to play it and to perform it in front of thousands of people because they believe that the arrangement is good enough and they believe they can deliver a compelling performance with that musical piece. So the arranger clearly knows what they're doing. Hey guys, you want to learn how to arrange or compose music? I'm the guy for that. Here's the proof. And the body of work speaks for itself and the public decide. But for some reason in the trading industry, almost anybody can come out and say, hey guys, I finished second place in this competition for 2 years in a row, and now I'm going to show you how a footprint works. It only costs $1,700 after you've been put on a waiting list for 2 months, and I've been hyping you up in my mailing list, and now you get the thing saying, okay, it costs $1,700 to join it. They're going to convert a number of those viewers, but all throughout that process, all they showed you was that they won second place in a trading competition. Okay, that is proof. But the reality is that I believe most of you guys are not vetting these people enough for actual verified profits. You get swept in to the fancy video editing that you see online. You get swept into a couple of profit loss statements that they might post. The reality is the proof is not there for most of them. And even if sometimes if they show the proof, in my opinion, it's not shown in a way that is professional. Take Tori Trades, for example. You guys know I love bagging on Tori Trades, okay? She showed her broker statements in this video right over here. I made 180% in 17 trades in 2024, broker statements verified. But she shows it at the very end of her YouTube video, which most people won't go to that point of the video unless they specifically want to see this. And the thing is, she's showing it in the video in a way that could so easily be manipulated. Do you want to obtain credibility with your viewers or not? It's not that complicated. Have your statements audited by multiple financial professionals. Have them sign it and seal it in a document saying they have audited these statements. These trades are legitimate trades that took place on the exchange at those times, and these are all legitimate trades, 100%. If you're going to sell education for thousands of dollars a month, what does it take to hire a professional or to even pay your broker a commission? It doesn't go against exchange regulations or broker regulations to have a third party verify your trades. She shows it in a YouTube video in such an unprofessional way. Meanwhile, this is the same person that's selling trading education for thousands of dollars a month. What she does, I think, is she gets people on her waiting list. This is a strategy used by multi-million-dollar marketers. And I know this because every now and then I watch videos by Alex Hermodzi and these other YouTube marketers because it's interesting. But I don't sell a course or anything like that. And then when you join the wait list, at some point, they're going to send you a marketing email saying there's only 10 spots left. And then this is the price to get in. So it creates that element of scarcity so they can get more conversions. Tori Trades has never shown audited broker statements. Now, the only trader who I've seen who has, and you guys know who it is, bang, Warrior Trading, baby. Ross Cameron. Now, say what you want about Ross Cameron. I have no idea about anything about him other than the fact that I do like his content. I find that he makes good educational trading content. I don't know about his course materials. Maybe some of you guys can comment down below. All I'm trying to do is show that on his website, if you go to the About section, I'm on warriortrading.com. Ross's verified earnings from 2017 to 2025. You go to this page and he puts independent accountants report, and you can click on these to see the individual broker statements from Lightspeed, or you can read this document, which is an audited report saying that these profit losses that he reported are legitimate. He's somebody that's taken a step towards really truly verifying his profits. I might do some name dropping as we approach the later part of the video here, but I want to talk a bit about trading education as a whole. Because in my opinion, trading is a high performance sport, just like playing an instrument at a professional level or playing a sport at a professional level. And when you're playing a sport, as soon as you get above the intermediate level and you start entering into the advanced territory, what happens? You know how to play the sport, how to play the game. You know the fundamentals. Most of it at that point becomes psychological, and it's in regards to how your psychology interacts with your execution process of how you execute that. And how do we get better at that? Normally, it's through having a coach. Somebody watch your performance, watching yourself on video, perform it, execute it, piecing it together and saying, you know what? That needs work, or this is where you screwed up. And that's why I personally believe, in regards to trading education, the proper way to do it is through mentorship, one-on-one mentorship or small group class mentorship, which I find that a lot of these trading gurus do, but some of them don't do that. Some of them only offer these high ticket courses, and then they're marketing that as what you're going to use to become a better trader. But the reality is, once you pass a certain point, you need one-on-one mentorship with a serious coach. Normally, the coaches are also verified, experienced traders or investors in this case, and they know how the game works, and they're able to examine what you're doing and help you really dial in your process and dial in your psychology. Do you think these high-level sportsmen or musicians are showing up to these mass-produced courses or events on how to play the sport? No, they're seeking out one-on-one mentorship with specific coaches. These coaches know the game very well. These coaches have chemistry with the people that they're coaching. I want to be clear on this. There's nothing wrong with teaching and coaching in an industry where you do the actual thing. Because the reality is, once you get to a high level of something, most of the time, you're going to end up having to teach somebody how to do it. Whether they succeed, it doesn't really matter. But the reality is, people are going to want to learn from you. If you do your research on some of the most famous day traders of all time, you look at guys like Jesse Livermore, Paul Tudor Jones, not George Soros. Most of them did at some point coach others either in a closed circle or offer some sort of educational material. Some of them even wrote books on their methods. Like Jesse Livermore wrote a book in his lifetime, How to Trade in Stocks. And then a lot of that material got repurposed for the book that everybody knows, which is called Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. But one thing that a lot of these really famous traders didn't do, and I've done my research on this just by searching the web, is that they did not and do not sell mass-produced courses that cater to beginner investors. Most of the time, the beginner advice is put into simple, absorbable materials like a book, a couple of video lessons that you might find on YouTube. But it's very rare, if not non-existent, that any of these very famous traders of the past have gone out and sold high-ticket educational material to retail investors, because they simply didn't have to, because most of them were focused on their trading more than anything. And because they were so focused on their trading, what they did was they attracted only a close circle of other people around them. In their close circle, there was probably a select few people that wanted to genuinely learn from them. They most probably had coaching relationships with people one-on-one, rather than developing this course material that caters to thousands and thousands of people on the internet. Now, I'm going to say this bluntly, okay? People that develop courses that cater to beginner level retail investors, they are not in it to make money trading. They're no longer in this game for the trading purpose. They're in this game to make money selling the courses. Okay. Now I'm going to name drop. We're going to talk about Mr. Lance Breitstein here for a moment with his new course of $1,700. Now, I respect Lance Breitstein's content. I believe that he's made a few really nice pieces of content, especially on the SMB Capital YouTube channel. I respect his content. I respect his work. But what he's doing with this course, again, this is just my objective analysis of what he's doing. He is catering to absolute beginners in the trading industry. And the reason he's doing that is because on his website, you can pay for the course right up front. You go straight to the website, pricing, buy now, and then right away you can put in your credit card details and pay for it. And you can pay $1,700 for it. Don't get me wrong. Some people think that's too expensive, but other people have that money and they're going to pay for it immediately. Now I'll get to the credibility part after because Lance hasn't showed any broker statements. The thing is, what he's doing here is he's trying to convert and sell as many of these things as possible to as many people as possible. Because if he genuinely wanted to help traders reach their full potential, he already knows this. He would know that the way to do that is through one-on-one mentorship. It's not through selling a mass-produced course of 200 videos. People can watch 1,000 videos and still be trash at trading because they have not done the necessary work that's relative to their pathway of trading, not anybody else's pathway. Once you know the basics of this, you have an approach that you've been working on for a while. All it is after that is dialing it in, baby, and scaling it up and dialing it in and working through the issues one at a time. And those issues are specific to you, nobody else. And that's why one-on-one mentorship is the way to go. So he does have mentorship for 10 grand, which fine, I'll give him that, which is great. But the one problem I have with Lance Breitstein is that unlike Ross Cameron, I cannot find his verified broker statements anywhere on the internet. Just to be clear here, I'm a YouTuber also. I know how this stuff works. And in a moment, I'm going to show you approximately how much money Lance Breitstein is going to be expecting to make from these course sales. And I know some of you guys are going to say, he used to trade for a prop firm called Trillium. There's one video on the Trillium YouTube channel talking with Lance. If he genuinely wants to achieve the maximum level of credibility, my opinion is, he should be posting those broker statements publicly for everybody to see that he actually made that $100 million of trading profits. And, don't take it from me. I'm just an everyday day trader. I'm not a professional day trader, but I am very passionate about these things. And you know what I found even funnier about this? If you read his post on his X, which is titled The Raw Truth, Why I Sell a Trading Course. If you read this post, he literally openly says it in this truth that he's no longer willing to absorb the costs associated with trading. In other words, he doesn't want to trade anymore. He said it. He says, I don't want to trade anymore. I just want to teach you guys how to trade. If you look towards the end of this, he describes getting more into the marketing side of the industry, studying from Alex Hormozi and other marketers. And that combined with the fact that he openly says that he doesn't want to really be trading anymore and that he, so to speak, only wants to trade the big opportunities. I don't really know what that means. He wants to make the majority of his money teaching other traders and coaching other traders. To me, it sounds like just a bit of a cop-out, especially seeing how young Lance Breitstein is. At least he looks like a pretty young guy. Maybe he's like 35 or something. I just find what he's doing just a little bit on the fishy side. On his website, he says Kinfo verified. Kinfo is a platform that connects directly to your brokerage. And I was exploring it and I found that his profile is no longer there on Kinfo. So I don't know why he puts Kinfo verified because he's no longer on Kinfo. Now I'm going to get into some things that relate to YouTube marketing. And I think some of you guys, especially if you don't know about this, are going to find this part really interesting because I'm going to disclose approximately how much he is going to be making with this right here. Some of these numbers are theoretical, but some of these numbers I'm actually getting from my own conversion statistics. And I'm going to go over to this YouTube income calculator here. So the first thing we need to put in is what is the price of the offer or the price of the course. In this case, the price of his course is about 17 something. What's your monthly income goal? Let's say 100K. In order to make $100,000, Lance has to sell 57 of these courses. Now, you're going to think, how fast can he sell 57 courses? Maybe he's only going to sell a couple in a month. That all depends on his conversion rate. And now let me tell you a bit about conversion rates. I have various links in my YouTube descriptions, and my conversion rate on that link for the last month, it's only been about 0.5%. Click-through rate. Now, out of the click-through rate, there's also the rate at how many people are converting into customers. And out of that 0.5% of people, a certain percentage are converting into customers. So the way this calculator is working in terms of its calculations is it's assuming a click-through rate and also a conversion rate of 0.5%. Assuming that his conversion rate is higher, which it probably is, let's assume 1%. He only needs to get approximately 500,000 views to sell 57 of these units. And 57 of these units is going to yield him $100,000. Okay, I'm going to show you guys some factual view numbers regarding the One Lance B's YouTube channel. This is a platform that I use called vidIQ, and it shows accurate view numbers. And so I've got Lance's channel pulled up over here. So you can see that in July, his channel started exploding. And that's approximately around the time where he launched his trading course. One thing that's interesting is that the majority of the views he got in the last 12 months only happened in the last 60 days. So you can see in the last 60 days, he has almost 800K views. And the last 30 days, he has just under 500,000 views. And this is because he's been posting a lot more content and posting on a higher frequency. So I'm just assuming the sale of the beginner course here. So I'm going to be underestimating the amount that he's going to be making. So his price is $17.64, and assuming a conversion rate of 1%, which I think is reasonable to assume for Lance's channel. 1% means 1% of the people viewing the video click the link, and also 1% of those people convert into customers, which theoretically this number is normally higher than that, because once they're on the web page, the conversion rate of the people on the web page is typically higher than 1%, at least from what I've seen with my remote assistance service. And I'm just judging it based on that. But for example, a guy like Lance who is trying to obtain more credibility, I would figure that his conversion rate is a little bit higher than that. Assuming a 1% conversion rate, he only needs just over 500,000 YouTube views to sell 57 of these to make $100,000. If you look at the last 30 days, you see we're just under 500,000. I would just make a rough estimate and say that he's probably sold at least 40 of them with these 400K views. But I could be wrong. It could be a lot more as well. Because when a course is new, typically people jump on it because they want the new material as fast as possible. And this 100K here is only assuming the beginner course model. So logically, some people would go for this one because they want the more benefits of the annual meetups, the Ask Me Anything. The really serious guys are going to go for the coaching, which is really what I think matters at the end of the day. Out of the portion of income he's making from the courses, some of that is going to be passive because some people are just getting the 200 video course and Lance doesn't have to coach them one-on-one, which means that all the money he makes here is going to be pretty much passive, and it's going to be quite a lot of money. So you're in the top 1%, in the top 0.5% actually of income earners just from the sales of this course. And we still don't know if the profits he made, the 100 million he claims here, is legitimate. And what I find crazy about all this is that if he genuinely earned this much money, like why? Like just mentor traders one-on-one, mentor the serious guys one-on-one. Like why are you going to take money from the retail guys that are beginners? Because this is targeted towards beginners. I already know it's targeted towards beginners. Because if it was not targeted towards beginners, he wouldn't show the price. He would just say mentorship, contact my sales team for that, and that's it. Like for example, another one, Trader Dante. If you go on Trader Dante's website, he doesn't disclose how much he charges for mentorship. And that's the way most people should do it, in my opinion. Because mentorship means the person wants to learn exclusively from you. There's a group of people out of your customers that are a good fit for learning from you because you guys have good chemistry or because you have exactly what they want. And they know that. So you don't have the criticism from the general public. You don't have to deal with all that crap online. And you still get to sell high ticket products because mentorship is obviously not cheap either. And you're selling it directly to the people that want it. Not your average Joe on YouTube that's going to criticize you, hey, you charge too much for your course. The vast majority of trading influencers that sell educational material simply don't provide the proof necessary. Whereas in other industries, the proof is already in our face. We already know it based on their body of work. The body of work is there. But in trading, it's difficult to gauge whether these traders are legitimate or not. And I wouldn't trust platforms like Kinfo, personally, to do that. You should have your broker statements audited by financial professionals and audited by multiple people, potentially even posted on their website, not only your website, in multiple places. That would be a step towards obtaining the credibility that you really need in order to be out there marketing yourself as a trading educator that's selling courses and mentorship worth thousands and thousands of dollars. At the end of the day, guys, we're all alone in this trading journey. Take what I'm saying with a grain of salt and let me know what you thought of this video down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.